Hi, I'm Grant Ward. This is the week three project. Okay, so first off, the first bullet point, we were challenged with finding data and cr using a visualization tool to present complex and predictive analytics results in a clear and actionable format. Well, here's the visualization tool of I-26 and I-95 on their Sunday time. And I I know there's several other days that I'll show later, but I'll have the I-26 and I-95 Sunday times on there because putting the rest of the days on there made it too small and very hard to read. So in the next slide, it'll show the graphs of the other days. And here's like the visualization of the rest of it. Like you'll see here that here's I-95 on the left and all of its days with timestamps on the bottom from midnight the whole 24 hours. Same with I-26. Traffic delays and using machine learning predictive analytics. Traffic delays are often common in the transportation industry, oftentimes getting told our shipment is delayed. And using supervised learning for a trucking company, I would have the machine tell me which are the best hours to transport shipments for my company based off the Sunday, I-26 and I-95 traffic counts and off day, time of day, excuse me. After that, feed it the other days to make sure its predictions are correct. And I say start with the I-95 and I-26 predictions because now you're having to predict two different highways, which this is also in, hold on one second. Looking at this, I-26 and I-95 in South Carolina, major intersection, horrible for traffic. And I'm speaking from too much experience. Anyways, so feeding it the Sunday and then feeding it the rest of the day slowly to make sure its predictions are right is what I want to do because yes, I could put it on supervised, let it group it together, but I would rather feed it and like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I want you to start doing it and give me predictions and analytics. And I get, and then after that, I'll slowly add like, okay, this is the month we're in. And slowly so I can build a plan around it. Also, using supervised learning again to choose the routes and make sure that the routes don't clash with traffic when having to jump from interstate to interstate. Because the machine could, if you feed it wrong, make sure just base it off I-95 and I-26, which if you notice on the graphs in a little bit later, it's going to show the morning starts way earlier and traffic gets heavier earlier than I-95 does. Insights. And after presenting this data, I would be communicating to the group of shareholders that we need to start committing more drivers to nighttime. Why is that important? Most companies like to get all their drivers in during the day. Yes, companies have overnight drivers. It's not uncommon. It's practically you see it a lot. But I will say, just based off like if you're since you're a company in South Carolina, you gotta commit to more nighttime drivers because using and you have to utilize I-26, I-95, I-85, which is not on here, but that's the third major highway in South Carolina. It's more of the upstate, but still having the nighttime driving and like try to emphasize like, okay, the big heavy shipments, we got to move from ramp to ramp. Let's get that during the nighttime. And why do you want to get that during the nighttime? Well, I'm taking this idea from FedEx UPS. They fly their planes at night. They fly the planes at night, distribute all the individual packages. Like, okay, Memphis will send an airplane to Charlotte, which will send a smaller airplane to the Greenville Spartanburg International Airport FedEx ramp, which then will make their deliveries. But by that point, the big shipment is already sent. It's through the nighttime, so when the morning comes around, those trucks are loaded, ready to go and deliver the smaller. But they're moving it at night where there's less time constraints because of traffic. And the bigger, more time-consuming shipment, like I said earlier, need to be moved during the night. Still, the small package parcel units like the FedEx for example, would be like you see the FedEx ground and their home delivery vans or home delivery trucks. That's what would be mainly carried out during the daytime would be the home delivery stuff. While yes, you could still move other shipments around, the primary focus would be this. And then, like I said, area data source, I know it's a little small. Sorry, it wasn't working with me. Apologize. But like I-26 to Columbia right here, very difficult to get around to Charleston. And then you have I-95 to Florence and Walterboro. And findings of the data, I-95 major interstate on the East Coast of the United States, and they can play a vital role for shipping companies transporting shipments on it. I-26 is a big interstate in South Carolina, but it's notorious for having major traffic jams in the Columbia to Florence area, oftentimes losing hours sitting in traffic. And why did I mention sitting in traffic? Well, I-26, like Columbia itself, it'll take you 15 to 20 minutes to get through without traffic, but in reality, it takes you an hour and a half the moment you hit it, and that could be at 8 in the morning. That's why I recommend at the bottom of the findings that we should move our shipments. We move during the night in that area because it is less, because traffic is way less and can save us time and money and not having to spend extra fuel sitting in traffic, while the easier, more deliverable packages can be done during the daytime in the home delivery vehicles. And sources to use is the I-26 at I-95 interchange SCDOT project traffic forecast, and then the Artificial Intelligence for Business book that is our textbook. And that is all I have.